Welcome to Coach Talk, everybody. Hi, LJ.
Hi, Dave. How are you this week?
I am epic. My week has been pretty good. How are you?
I'm really well, and thank you for letting me be remote today.
Yeah, so LJ's doing something fantastic away from the studio today, so back on the phone. I like the fact that we can chat over a telephone call and still release a podcast. I like that.
Absolutely. Well, that's one of the things that we love to do is be fully transportable. So whether we can be in the same space with different spaces or at a cafe or at a convention, wherever we are, we can do what we love to do.
The good thing about it is if you have an idea or if I have an idea, we can just either jump on a phone call or we can ring up and say, hey, let's meet at a coffee shop, let's meet somewhere, and we just bang out a podcast based on a very quick idea. We talk about it for a few minutes and then, you know what? Hit the record button. Let's go with it. I like how we do that.
I love that we are unapologetically raw and real, and we roll with it and get the job done. And even better, that what we love to put down for you to listen to is actually resonating with all of you, and the feedback that you provide is just been wonderful. We love getting your emails, letters and DMs. So thank you so much for letting us know how much what we love to do is really helping you in your space.
Absolutely. So today we are going to talk about something which we had a bit of an idea about. At the moment, it's 2024, it's August. We have the Olympics going on at the moment in Paris. I love watching people in any form of sport that are at the peak of their game, and seeing the Olympics for me is, it's pretty good. What do you think?
Oh, he's pretty good. I watched, was it the sprinter Lewis? Is it Mia Lewis? I'm sorry if I got your first name wrong, but just to see her do a PB was phenomenal. And of course, most people know I ride horses, so to watch the dressage and the equestrian sports, that's a little bit close to home. And I know how much it takes to train those horses to that level, and how much hours and hours and hours of practice and riding and precision goes in for essentially 12 minutes in the dressage arena.
Yeah, 100%. And on the back of that, exactly right. I know how much preparation, and I've seen it, especially in the boxing world, how athletes must prepare before they go to their competition. And at Olympic level, the sacrifices athletes make, whether it be in the pool, on the track, wherever they are, with exercise regimen, with diet, with lack of social life, with some people have to leave their jobs. The amount of sacrifice to achieve a gold medal or a medal or achieve greatness is, I think that the average person can't fathom how much they have to put aside to get to the world stage.
Absolutely. And it's absolutely all hats off to the individuals and the teams, because that is such a unique process to go through, building the individual mindset, building the quality of the team and the cohesiveness of the team. However, I would really, really love to acknowledge the tribe that surrounds our beautiful elite sporting people that allow them to get to that level. The mums and dads, the grandmas and grandpas, the uncles, cousins, everyone who goes to watch, support, drive, coach. You are making a difference, and without your support and your love and your cheerleading abilities, we wouldn't be seeing so many amazing athletes doing what they were born to do.
Yeah, exactly. And I love that. That's a really good perspective. Today we are going to discuss something which is a little bit different. What is something that's a gold medal moment in someone's life that you can recall? And the reason I want to discuss this with you is because I want people to understand that it's okay to acknowledge yourself. It's okay to say, I did something spectacular, something that was big. I did something that was good, and I feel good about it, and I remember it. I recall the feelings I had after I achieved it. It could be anything. It doesn't have to be sport. It could be a moment, a business. It could be something in family. It could be anything at all. And I've got a story, and I know you have too, and they're gold medal moments, and I like it to refer back to the current Olympics that we have because it just ties in with that. But yeah, I would like to discuss this because I think a lot of people do not acknowledge themselves for a massive effort or something they've achieved. They go, yeah, it was okay. Yeah, I did all right.
And the only reason I'm laughing is because when for our amazing listeners around the world, when Dave proposed this topic, I laughed and I said, I don't have one. So it was a whole process of actually trying to work out what I could actually share with you. And there'll be people like me out there where we do what we're trained for. We raise our kids, we love our jobs, and we love our chosen careers and those sorts of things. However, there will always be someone watching you that appreciates what we think
Yeah.
is just an everyday, just getting the job done sort of thing, and going about our business. So even if you're like me and you couldn't exactly think of one, ask somebody who you trust so that you can also appreciate the value that you bring to other people's worlds, whether you're aware of that or not. I just wanted to point that out because
Yeah,
you'll have way more gold medal moments than you even think about.
absolutely. We had it was a bit of a coaching session, wasn't it? We sort of brought a
It,
little bit out. We
yes,
brought a
good.
bit out. Yeah.
Great coaches get coached.
Great coaches do get coached, and everybody has gold medal moments. And if you were to, and I encourage this, if you were to write down on a piece of paper some things that you've achieved in your life, whether it's brainstorm it, small things, big things, you will be surprised how many gold medal moments you've had in your life. That it's not just sport or physical related, it's achievements that you look back and say, my goodness, I didn't realise I actually did this. Everyone's got a massive list, including you, LJ. You'd have, I know things that you've done. You would have a long, long list, and humility is a great thing. It's a great thing, but everyone needs to stand up and say, I did this at this time. I did whatever it was, and actually acknowledge yourself for it. It's really healthy to do that.
Absolutely. I was laughing just then because I was thinking, if I asked my dad what he thought my gold medal moments were, he would say, because I used to be so accident prone as a kid, he would say, you made it to an adult.
I can imagine your dad saying that.
Yeah.
I can see him. Yeah, I can, just because I know your dad really well. So, do you want to tell us what your gold medal moment is, the one you're thinking of?
Well, this was something that, thanks to your amazing help, something that I'm not the only person to have gone through this journey. There's a lot of other people around the world. My journey about 6 years ago, and I think I've alluded to this a little bit, was I got really, really sick with septicemia, unbeknownst to me. So let me paint you a little picture. It was actually my birthday.
Yeah.
And the lead up to the birthday, my life at that time, I was riding competition horses for somebody else. So I was riding, I think, 4 competition horses, 2 in the morning, 2 at night, and then still managing to ride my 3 horses as well. So I was riding quite a lot. I had my own busy practice as a mechanics therapist because that's the career I chose, and family, those sorts of things as well. So I had, like everybody, you get a little bit tired, but unbeknownst to me, I ended up with septicemia. So I went to bed on my birthday and I didn't wake up. So
Wow.
so I ended up with severe septicemia. And there's a whole backstory with the hospital. So apparently I got to hospital somehow. I have to sort of retell this in a third person because I am not aware of it. So I was driven to hospital, and then my kids were called, and my dad, but my dad was away. They were called to say goodbye to me.
Okay.
So, and then I think I was actually discharged unconscious to go home.
Right.
So this is how severely sick I was. So then presented the next day. So the reason I bring this up is to let you know that septicemia, the odds of survival is, I think it's like 1 in 10. 1 in 10 people survive severe septicemia, and then normally we have a lot of ongoing health issues. So just to sort of paint a picture for you then. So over that time, it was just something that I went through, and I'm a glass half full person, so it's like, right. So massive chunk of my time I don't remember. Like, I've got gaps in my knowledge and my awareness. When I do remember, sort of recovering. I couldn't really string sentences together. My mind didn't function properly. I was really clumsy. Everything in my world changed. I couldn't eat the same foods I used to love without it having a massive reaction. My health was really, really in jeopardy, and I had to live in a bubble that was really kind of ridiculous. That stage of recovery for me, as it is for a number of people, and I actually have met one or two other people that have had very similar experiences where we've had to fight every day to beat the odds, where I was told I would never work again. I would not have a functional life. I couldn't string sentences together. So just, that was my life, learn to live with it. So there are worse things. And I say that because I'm still living. I was still alive. I still got to see my family. And it was like, right, well, if this is what life is going to be, you go through the process of going, well, what does that look like, etc.
Yeah.
So lots of other things happened in my world where my whole world fell apart, not just my health world, but everything fell apart. So add that on top of a health issue, and you've got a bit of an interesting scenario. But why I bring this up as a gold medal moment is because I beat the odds of having a normal functional life, restoring my health, and getting back to a lifestyle that is self-supported, like I'm totally self-supporting of my own, bringing value to people that I haven't even met, and still being upright and breathing and being able to appreciate every sunrise and every sunset. So that gives you a little bit of an indication of why they're important to me, because I get to wake up every day. When I was told, the only thing I heard, I think, for the first couple of weeks with the nurses and the staff and the family, everyone that came through, was like, do you know how lucky you are? So a gold medal moment for me is not actually surviving, but it's actually beating the odds to not just accept what I was told and to lift into my own resourcefulness to say that the life they told me I was going to live is not the life that I wanted for myself. I wanted way more, and to find that capacity to actually step towards it. Now, that sounds all well and good, but it took the best part of 2.5 years to 3 years to actually get rid of the lag and the health concerns that I was left with over that time. So everyone has a story. Mine, that's just a little snippet of mine.
I look at you now and I know with your background, you love your motor racing, you love your horse riding, you love your gym work, you're active, you also give a lot to other people, and I see that on a daily basis. There's a lot of pluses and a lot of growth and a lot of... Is this as a result of all of the hard work and the rebuilding and having to start again through illness? Has this given you a different awareness or a different perception of how you want to live your life? Because you are very active and you throw yourself into everything with so much gusto. Is there relevance to that, or were you always like that?
Again, it depends who you ask. I was always very active beforehand, but probably didn't make the most of opportunities that I had because I allowed myself to second guess or to take bad advice without really tapping into me and knowing who was good to be around. And, when you go through something like that, you've got to surround yourself with the right people, and you've got to have the right circle that you trust. To get through that journey or a sporting journey, it's not just about you. It's about who's in your corner, because you can't do that journey alone.
Yeah.
You can't do that journey alone. And I'm very, very blessed to have had a couple of very close friends, a couple of really close girlfriends who 3 times a day they were checking in. And amazingly, to my absolute gratitude, my beautiful clients that I've had, some of them I've had for 20 years, they would come and sit with me, so I had someone to talk to, and they were able to give back to me, which was really, really challenging, to accept the help back, because I'm a bit of a strongly determined person, as you may know.
Yeah.
Some people call it stubborn. I say strongly determined. But my life beforehand, I was always similar, but I'm in terms of I lived life to a level. But now I have so much additional gratitude and additional, awareness of
Yeah.
how precious every day is.
I like it. I like that. Uncle Cutto is going to ask you a coaching question.
Yep.
Do you acknowledge yourself for this gold medal moment? Do you often, rarely, or not at all acknowledge yourself for where you are right now compared to where you were when you were unwell and you were looking at not recovering and not being here with us? Do you acknowledge that? And if you do, how do you acknowledge yourself for that?
I have, like all of us, I think you have days where you reflect and you just go, wow. Oh, actually, sadly to say, not that I'm massive on social media when I really need to be, but you know how Facebook brings up your memories?
Yeah.
I don't repost my memories, but it's really, really interesting to see the stuff that pops up, and it does trigger me going, wow, look how far I've come.
Yeah, yeah.
But as we were talking, when we were trying to find some gold medal moments, when you were asking me all these questions, what about your childhood? What about this? I don't see myself as being remarkable because I'm just me. I utilize the knowledge I have to either help somebody else or to just make my world a better place. And for me, that's just what I do. So I understand that it's a bit challenging for a lot of us to actually celebrate the cool things you do, because your mindset is you're just getting stuff done because you can and because you have obligation to make the world around you a better place and to help other people, because why wouldn't you?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And it's true. People say, no, that's not a gold medal moment. That's just me. It's not remarkable. But from an external point of view with other people, that can appear as remarkable because it's relative to what you are used to and what you're familiar with in your life. For example, I know a pilot, an airline pilot, who landed a plane and he was in horrible, horrible weather. And I'm not a pilot, I can't describe this very well, but he was coming in almost sideways to the runway. And then at the last minute, flipped up the wing, the plane lands on the deck and everything's okay. For me, that's remarkable. For him, that's just another day in the office.
Yeah. Well,
So
see, I look
yeah,
at my brother, who's also, he is actually a pilot,
yeah,
but his gold medal moment was when he was a little boy. He used to have these really thick glasses to correct his eyesight, and he was told at the age of 2 or 3 that he'd never ever make it as a pilot. And his gold medal moment was, again, to break the odds. He's flying not only fixed wing and helicopters, so he's the only person I know that's ever done that, except for you, because of the things that we've shared in terms of what you wanted to be as a kid, and where that twist and turn of life has taken you now. I mean,
yeah.
you don't get to meet many people in your lifetime who can honestly say, I've always wanted to do this since I was little, and you beat the odds when you were told it was against you.
Yeah.
So me surviving is not who I want to be known for. I want to be known as a kind person who contributes to the health and love and well-being of the people I care about, and also the people I haven't even met yet. That's how I would rather be remembered, and that will be my gold medal moment, is that people think of me that way. Then that's a gold medal moment for me.
Great statement. I like it.
Tell me about yours, Uncle Cutto. Enough about me. I want to know about Uncle Cutto's golden moment, because you have story after story, because you have me in fits of laughter most days.
Yeah, thanks. It's interesting because I went and visited someone a couple of nights ago and did some coaching with somebody, and it was a I went to their house. It was a great night. We had coffee, chocolate biscuits, and stuff, and they were just wonderful people. And one thing, one of the guys that was there was a few people there. One of the guys said to me is, you have an amazing memory. And my memory's pretty good, but he said, you can always recall so many things and he's known me a long time, and he's right. I thought about it. I thought, you know what? Everyone's got stories. Like, everybody has got as many stories as I have, but I just have this uncanny ability to recall things right back to when I was very young, and I can recall things like events and things that happen. And he was right. I do. I've got a good recall with that. So it's not that I have all these stories that other people haven't, because everyone's got massive amounts of events and stories in their life. I just have the ability to recall so many of them. It's yeah. So my story, and this one just popped into my head as a gold medal moment, and it was for me. It was something that I thought was amazing at the time. I did, and I didn't acknowledge myself for it at the start, but I ended up, in the end, I acknowledged myself for it, and I still do today. I think it was great. So I was driving to meet some guys at a business meeting over breakfast. This is maybe 10 years ago, I would say, in Melbourne. So I was driving in Melbourne to meet these guys at a coffee shop, and I'm in the centre of Melbourne, and I'm going past the Royal Women's Hospital, almost going right past the front doors. And the car in front of me veered off the road up onto the gutter, up onto the footpath. The driver, this guy, jumped out of the car, and he was yelling and swearing, and he was cursing. And he ran around to the passenger side of the car and reefed open the door, and the car was rocking backwards and forwards, and to me it looked like he was beating up his partner. He was beating up his wife in the car. It
Wow.
looked really messy. So I just jumped out of my car. I left my car in the middle of the road. I jumped out of my car and I ran to the passenger door, thinking that this is not right. This is not good. So I've put my hand on his shoulder. He's kneeling down in the car, and the car's sort of rocking and rolling a bit. And I thought, this is not good. I don't even know what I'm going to do here. So I've put my hand on his shoulder, and as I did that, I then saw the woman with her legs up on the dashboard, and the baby's head is crowning.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so she didn't make it to hospital, and
Wow.
she's giving birth. And he was beside himself. He was, I don't know what to do. What do I do? He was freaking out. So I just said to him,
Yeah, well, that's not what you expected, is it?
no. And I thought it was a domestic thing. Anyway, so there you go about people's perception. So I said, go to my car, grab my mobile, come back. I've got blanket and a towel and stuff in the back of my car, for travel blanket and stuff. Go and get my towel. Hurry, hurry, hurry. No worries. So he's off and running, and he's going to get my mobile, and he's come back. And so I said, call 000, ask for an ambulance, let's get it all going, no worries. And he's really, as he would be, he's stressed out. So I looked at the lady.
I was going to say, he's stressed out. What about mum to be?
Yeah, and so I said, so how you doing? You know what I'm like with my personality. I said, how you doing? She goes,
She's
I
like, had a
can't.
better days.
She goes, I can't do this. I can't do this. This can't happen. And I said, well, and the head's crowning, so we have no choice now. There's no going back from here. Let's have the baby. Let's get it out and make sure everything's okay. He was still wringing his hands. What do I do? What do I do? She goes, I don't know if I can do this. I said, the problem is, if you can't stop it, but the problem is if the cord is around the baby's neck or there's some sort of issue, we're going to have more problems before the ambulance arrives. Do you feel like you need to push? So, okay, so when you're feeling that push, bear down and let's get the baby out. We're going to do this. We're going to have a baby. I can't, we're having a baby. So she's like, okay. And within like 20, 30 seconds, I feel like I've got to push. Okay, bear down, push, let's go. As this was happening, one of the guys that I was meeting with, he drove past and saw my car in the middle of the road, and he stopped and he yelled out the passenger window, Cutto, what's going on? So I raised my hands in the air, which weren't overly, a bit messy, and I said, we're having a baby, right? And so I looked at him and said, we're having a baby, thinking
As you would.
yeah. So I thought he's going to pull over and he's going to help me, and he dry reached and went, whoa, and he drove off. He drove off.
Oh, wow.
He disappeared into the ether. He's gone.
So
So
I'm tipping he was a single man and had not had his own kids.
good luck with that. Yeah. So he disappeared. That's fine. So, not a problem. Baby comes out, wrap the baby up in a blanket, everything's fine. And what I find is the most amazing thing is as soon as the baby pops out, mum is happy, there's no pain. Oh, I love my little boy. And it was a great moment. So she's holding her
Oh,
new son, all wrapped up in a blanket, cord still
Cato
intact.
Junior.
Cutter Junior. So that was fine. Dad was doing okay. Ambo's turn up and everything's okay. So as the ambulance is just turning up and she's holding her son, I said to her, okay, now that I've delivered your baby, it's customary that you have to name your child after me. And she's like, oh, yeah, what's your name? And I said, my name's Aloysius. Right. So she looked at me with this look and said, seriously? I said, no, it's not. It's Dave. But the look on her face was priceless. It was Aloysius. Imagine the poor kid going to school and being called Aloysius. But anyway, so that was fine. And it happened right outside the front entrance of the hospital. No one came out. There was no one came out to help. I suppose they wouldn't see what's going on, or they didn't. You can't see across the road. But it was right out the very front doors of the hospital, and
Wow.
everything worked out really, really well. So I went to the meeting.
That's a great story.
Yeah, so I went to the meeting, walked in a bit late, said to the guy who was chairing this meeting at this cafe, this catch up, sorry guys, got a bit indisposed. That's okay. What happened? The bloke who went past, who's sitting at the cafe with the group of guys having a coffee, didn't explain to the guy who's chairing the meeting, Dave's going to be late because he's delivering a baby. He just said Dave's going to be late.
Nice.
Yeah. So I turned up and they said, oh, you okay? I said, yeah, it's okay. I just had to, yeah. I told them, they said, we didn't know about that. So he hasn't even, which I thought was
He was
interesting.
traumatized.
He was really
For the whole
traumatized.
experience.
He was really traumatized. So for me, that was a gold medal moment.
That's
for
a
me.
pretty special gold medal. That's a pretty special medal
So
moment.
that boy now would be 10 or 11 years old,
Wow.
and highly unlikely probably mum or dad would be listening to this podcast. But if they are, and if they do, I would
Because
love...
you never know who's listening.
You never know. I would love them to contact me and go through the website and send me an email. I would love to check in on how young Aloysius is doing, because he'd be 10 or 11 now. I would love to catch up and see how he's travelling.
Yeah, that would be super special, wouldn't it?
Super special to meet.
That's a gorgeous story
meet Mum and
and
Dad, yeah.
very worthy of a gold medal, I must say.
So that was a gold medal moment. So that one took me a little while to acknowledge myself for it, and it was only through other people. It was like, okay, I did it. Yeah, okay, it was all right. Other people made me aware of, this is something special. You did well. This is really, it's a great memory, and it is. And there's nothing wrong with acknowledging yourself for extreme effort and getting a result.
Absolutely.
It's very healthy.
Very healthy, and what a great story for the family as well, because that could have been a whole different ball game had you not stopped for the wrong reasons, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. And I've never seen a car mount the curb and into the footpath so quickly. It was just extreme, and he jumped out and he was beside himself, and it was, yeah.
So did Dad calm down in the end? Because, I mean,
Yep. Yeah, he was good.
that's a lot. That's a lot for a new dad to cope with. And not only that, to have a perfect stranger then kind of like deliver your baby.
Yeah, it was. He was pretty calm, and the ambulance officers that turned up, they were fantastic, as they are. Huge respect for ambos. I just think, wow, I couldn't do it, and the amount of different jobs they go to and what they face, and this for them, I'm hoping, was a feel-good story, because quite often they deal with a lot of trauma and things. So this one is a good one because there's a new life that's been brought in, and they got to experience that as well. They were fantastic, and Dad was good, Mum was good, everything worked out really well, and I was buzzing all day long after my meeting and had to go and do a few things in the office, and I was on a high for a whole day thinking that this just happened, and then it sort of died down, and yeah, it was okay, but people reminded me back then that this is something that's so special that you won't forget this, and they are right.
100% they're right.
They're right. And I do acknowledge myself for it. And I just think as time goes on, I still remember it like it was just yesterday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. What a totally worthy gold medal performance. Congratulations, Uncle Cutto.
Yeah, it was interesting. So everyone has a gold medal story. Everybody has probably countless, lots and lots and lots of gold medal stories. Maybe it's good to sit down with a cup of tea or a cup of coffee and coffee. Here we go again. I love my coffee. It's good to sit down with a cuppa and reflect on
Absolutely.
things they've done in their lives, or if you need to write it down, or if you need to discuss it with somebody about how do you acknowledge events that have occurred in your life, massive events. And
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be something that's so huge that it could be something so simple. It could be raising your family or dealing with some sort of trauma, or it could be helping someone else. It could be you've achieved a hike and ended up hiking to a certain destination and you saw a wonderful view, and it could be anything. But we all have countless gold medal moments, and I thought, you know what, to also show a lot of respect and love for the Olympics as we do, this would be a good podcast for us.
Absolutely. And I guess just to touch on, it doesn't matter whether your daily performance is like at a state level or a national level or a world level or an Olympic elite level in terms of how you view the performance. Sometimes getting through your to-do list, that's a gold medal performance when you look at all the other things that have gone in your world that might have distracted you from that. So that's a massive success celebration. Or having a phone call if you're in customer service where you've been able to totally support somebody who's rung up and they might have started a little bit aggressive and you've been able to appease them and help them.
Yeah.
That's completely worthy of a gold medal performance, because you'll remember those customers. There's so many little things at, as I said, either state, national, international or Olympic level. If you think of it that way, there's so many different levels of gold medal performance, and each one is equally as worthy as the other.
Absolutely as important. We like to empower people to take action and do things themselves, and one thing I would encourage our listeners to do is find a moment, or find a gold medal moment, or we call it that. Find something that you did where you achieved, and then remember how you felt afterwards, because that feeling that you felt, you can bring that back anytime, day or night.
Absolutely.
You can bring it back. So that feeling of accomplishment or satisfaction or excitement, however it made you feel, you can anchor that and bring it back into your being whenever you want. So when you are feeling like you need motivation, or you need something to spur you on, or you just want to have a nice time where you want to improve your state or your mood, go back to your gold medal moment, recognize the feeling that you got out of it and bring it back to yourself, and that can help you improve your day.
Absolutely. And just to add to that, you may not think, like sometimes I don't think, that what I do every day or is worthy of a gold medal moment, but you never know who's watching you, listening to you, appreciating those small gestures. To them, that is a gold medal moment. So keep doing what you're doing, keep showing up how you show up, and please celebrate you, because you're worth it.
Absolutely worth it. I love this chat. Thank you, LJ.
No, great topic. Thank you, Uncle Cutto.
We will talk to you soon, and hopefully we'll be together in the same studio next time. And take care, and talk to you later.
Absolutely. Have an amazing week, everybody.
Yeah. All the best.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.
Hi, it's LJ and Dave here. Thank you so much for listening to the latest podcast.
We love what we do, and we know you get something great out of each and every publication.
So don't forget to jump on the website, coachtalk.com.au, leave us a message, let us know what you're up to, what you're enjoying, what you're loving most, and what else you'd like to see us do.
You can also find all of our content on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon Music, and Apple Music.
coachtalk.com.au is the website.
Coach Talk.
We've got you.